My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So if you too are crazy for Daisy, then this is the podcast for you. Maybe you're the Disney novice just thinking about or maybe planning your first ever trip to Walt Disney World and your current planning is leaving you rather tangled. Well, then this really is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll chat to other Disney superfans from around the UK to share their memories of their magical times and some top tips. And this week, Emma has been to the most expensive and exclusive restaurant in the whole of Walt Disney World.
It was just absolutely amazing. The food, the presentation, some gold leaf on the food. They bring out a rose for you. You get a personalised menu.
Find out where that is very soon. Also answering your Walt Disney World questions and getting you all the latest news from the parks. So make sure you keep in touch. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We are at Podmagical. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network. If you've got any questions, send them over. This week's question is very easy for me to answer from Rob. Andy, it's my mum and dad's golden wedding anniversary next year. We'd love to have a special trip to Walt Disney World. Any ideas, any recommendations of where would be good for us to stay on site? This is easy for me to answer. If it's your mum and dad's golden wedding anniversary, I'm thinking they'll be spending most of their time at Epcot. That would be the park they will be going to. So Beach Club Resort, if you've got the budget, is literally on the door to Epcot. You can walk out of your room and within minutes you can be in the World Showcase at Epcot. It's that near. If you want to cut back on the budget a little bit, then you want to use the Skyliner, then Caribbean Beach. So there you go. That's my thought. And I could be wrong here. There might be massive fans of Islands of Adventure. Who knows? But that's what I would say if you love Epcot. And especially if you've got mobility issues, I think it's just easier to get in and out of. Definitely without a doubt, Beach Resort. Any more questions, anything you want to ask, then you can drop them over at any point. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Podmagical. And if you'd like to share your memories and be a podcast guest, it's the same place. And it's Emma who's on this episode of the podcast. We'll talk about the trip that you did with your family and the tour that you did. But first of all, Emma, tell us why you love Walt Disney World.
I think, to me, Disney is basically like a huge comfort blanket. It kind of wraps you up, makes everything better. And it's just kind of my happy place. So whether it's Disney movies, going to Disney, wearing Disney stuff, there's just something about Disney that makes everything better.
And have you been wearing your Disney stuff over the last year, even though we've not been able to go now for over a year?
Yeah, and I've also been buying quite a lot of Disney stuff recently.
Oh dear. That's the way to scratch the itch, isn't it? Going, I'll get that for next time we go. I'll save it for next time we go. So when was the first time you went?
So the first time I went was when I was 12, which is a long time ago because it's in 1989. And I actually broke my arm 3 weeks before we went as well. So that was a great start to the holiday.
Did you get the cast members and the characters to sign your cast?
No, I didn't. It was like one of those weird masks and kind of things that you couldn't sign. It was like kind of wobbly material. So I couldn't go on a lot of the coasters, which was gutting for like the first time you go. And then you can't go on the things that you really want to go on. And you couldn't go swimming. So it was,
I bet your family were really chuffed when you did that,
really
didn't they?
Happy, yeah.
Ruined the holiday 3 weeks before we go. And now, of course, you go with your own family. How old are your boys?
So my boys, they're now 12 and 9. So my oldest has been 3 times and my youngest has been twice. So it's been lovely kind of taking them and kind of making new memories with them has been brilliant.
Yeah. Do you all have the same favourite things to do?
We really don't. My husband does not like Disney, so that's always a bit of a battle. He
still doesn't like
Disney
it?
fan. No.
Even though he's been?
Yeah.
And he still doesn't like it?
No. He'll go just because he knows I love it, but it's not really something he really enjoys. He likes the food, so we have to find food places, and that's my way of kind of keeping him going and keeping him enjoying it. But he's not a huge Disney fan. My kids are massive coaster fiends. Now they're big enough to go on everything. It's all about the big rides. But I love the nostalgia as well. Like I love going on like Little Mermaid and Small World and all those kind of the dark rides that I also remember from when I was younger. But it's harder getting them on them now. I'm
worried now about your husband. I'm thinking, surely there must be something we can find him other than food that is going to get him to really love. What is he into? Has he got any hobbies?
He likes food. He coaches my son's football team. But I think because the first time he went was when he was an adult. And I think it doesn't have the same kind of memories for him. And he went kind of with my family and stuff. So he's kind of tagging along. So I think he's not had that experience where it's just kind of his. But next time we go, it's just the 4 of us. My family aren't coming. So I think that might be a bit different.
It's going to be different, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to make new memories for just your family unit.
Yeah.
So what is of all the times you've been, with your family, without your family, with the kids?
Yeah.
Favorite memory?
When we took my son for the first time, it was his second birthday when we were out there, and that was Halloween because he's a Halloween baby. So we did Not So Scary, and it was just amazing. We were in, I think it's in the Golden Horseshoe in Frontierland, and he was just dancing with Woody. It was just him and Woody just dancing, and he was dressed as a little monkey, and it was just magical, and that was just kind of everything I'd wanted it to be. So I just love every time they meet characters, basically, I love it. And I love the Move It, Shake It dance parade as well. Because I love just that opportunity of getting them to be up close and kind of doing something fun with the characters. So yeah, just love all of that.
Now, do you get up and dance?
Yeah.
Because I like watching people dance when the characters come down to get you involved, but I don't know whether I would like proper dance.
You see, when you've got kids, it's a bit easier because you've got that excuse because you're kind of holding their hand and encouraging them to dance, but also it's mainly for me.
Yeah. Be interesting to see next time you go when the boys are a little bit older.
Yeah. I think
are they still going to be up for dancing?
My youngest will be. My oldest is too cool now. He won't be doing that.
Yeah, he just wants to go on the big roller coasters. So let's talk about accommodation.
Yes.
Where do you like to stay? Are you an on-site? Are you an off-site?
So the first time we went, we stayed on iDrive and then we stayed at All Star Movies.
Yeah.
And that was great to have a bit of both. And I think basically every time we've been, we've kind of had a bit of a combination. So we've always stayed a bit in Disney and then a bit on iDrive or at Universal. So it's kind of given you those almost different aspects of a holiday.
Yeah.
And that's been great, really. Favourite resort at Disney is French Quarter. I love Port Orleans French Quarter.
There's a lot of love for that.
I just love it. It's small. So for like my parents, that's great because it's not as big to try and get around. And I love the boat to Disney Springs because that's always just brilliant because I love Disney Springs. So yeah, that's kind of our favourite. But we've also stayed at Art of Animation as well. And the kids loved that with all the kind of big movie memorabilia and things. But if I had the money, it would be Animal Kingdom Lodge or Beach Club. I'd love to stay at one day.
Maybe next time. Working your way through all of them.
Hopefully, we're getting there.
So when it comes to planning, I know things are very different at the moment because, well, firstly, we can't go and then there's no dining plan, there's no fast passes. But what's your usual planning strategy?
I love the planning. I think I maybe love the planning as much as the holiday. I get kind of quite obsessed with it. So I like figuring out where we're going to eat, what rides we're going to do, booking our park days, booking fast passes and everything. So I love that side of things. And then just getting the kids involved, watching like YouTube videos of different rides and restaurants so they kind of have an idea before we get there as well. So I just love it. I love the whole kind of process. And then just kind of getting there is kind of the icing on the cake because you've kind of done all you can to make it the best time, really.
I always feel like that is actually part of the holiday.
Yeah.
Especially like back in the old days when you used to do dining and it used to go 6 months out. Yeah. So my actual holiday started 6 months before I even went.
I know you already knew kind of what you were doing and every day, minute by minute.
Yeah. I know where I'm eating. Sometimes I know what I'm eating. Like Beauty and the Beast, you have to order your food before you go. It's incredible. Talking about food, I want to talk about favourite restaurants because I know you've been somewhere very special. That is apparently one of the greatest restaurants in America.
We have.
You've been to Victoria and Albert's? Yeah,
we did. So last time we went in 2017, we went to Victoria and Albert. So just my husband and I, and it was just amazing. It was, the most expensive meal we'll probably ever have in our life, but also the best meal we've ever had. Yeah. It was kind of the closest you probably come to kind of feeling like a kind of princess almost as an adult because it was so tailored to you. It was so special. They go out of their way to make it just the best experience. It was just absolutely amazing. The food, the presentation, some gold leaf on the food. They bring out a rose for you. You get a personalised menu. It was just amazing. And if I had the money, I would go there every single time. It was just absolutely fantastic.
So was it a special occasion that you went for? Yeah,
so it was coming up to our 10-year anniversary. And again, my husband needs his food. So I just thought that's another great way of getting him there. Go for this amazing meal. And they bring out the coffee is like in this special kind of massive coffee maker thing, this whole special gadget they use. My husband's now bought one of them so he can do it himself as well. So, that is definitely the way to get him. But it was just amazing. And just the presentation and the atmosphere and just you feel so special.
Worth the money and lived up to your expectations?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so expensive, ridiculously expensive, but just amazing. Definitely worth the experience. If you can do it, I would definitely recommend doing it.
For a special occasion?
Yes. Or just any Disney trip.
You'll be going next time then, next time you go?
No, we're not next time because we haven't got babysitters for the kids next time, so we can't.
I'm sure, or maybe like when they're a little bit older and they come with you, but they can like go and do their own thing.
Or maybe they can go back to a different restaurant in the Grand Floridian while we go there.
Yeah. Quick service. Is it, having been there though, it's one of the greatest restaurants in America, is it your favourite place to eat at Walt Disney World?
I think for a really special occasion and for just the two of us, definitely yes. But I also love a character meal. There's something about a character meal because you can really have it at Disney. It just is a really special experience. So some that we've really enjoyed have been, we did Trattoria Al Forno on the boardwalk with Flynn Rider and Ariel, and that was brilliant. And then one that I didn't really know much about, but my sister just booked, was 1900 Park Fair. And we did I think it was the dinner with like the ugly sisters from Cinderella and the stepmother. And that was brilliant because the ugly sisters would not leave my son alone and he hated every second of it. It was just fantastic. They were just such good fun, just coming round, and they just kept talking to him and trying to encourage him to marry them and stuff. And it was just brilliant. It's definitely one that I'd recommend.
Next time, maybe you could marry them off.
Maybe, that might be something we can do.
Yeah, definitely. And did your husband get involved with the character interaction?
Not really.
No.
It was funny though, we went to Disneyland Paris. We did the buffet at, I think it's like Innoventions. We did the Halloween buffet where we had like 1 million characters. And the evil queen just came and gave him this massive telling off because he was on his phone while she was talking to him. And that was fantastic.
I can see why he's not too keen on it.
Yeah.
Get picked on all the time. Emma's on the podcast this week. I want to find out more about this tour that you did with your family at Magic Kingdom. We'll find out about that. Let's get a quick news update first, though. And there will be a new way to get to and from Orlando International Airport as of next year. You know that the Magical Express is going away at the end of this year. Mia's, who actually run the Magical Express, have announced Mia's Connect. So it's a new direct airport to Walt Disney World service that's been announced for 2022. No more details at the moment. I guess it's going to run like the Magical Express, but I guess there's probably going to be a cost that goes with it. So we'll kind of need to balance whether it would be cheaper to book that as a transfer or maybe get an Uber or a Lyft from the airport to Walt Disney World. But Mia's Connect, there should be more details in May because that's when you can start booking if you want to be collected from the airport to your Disney hotel from next year. Also as well, we got good news from Epcot. Everybody's favourite drink is coming back. I'm talking about Beverly. Do you remember Club Cool at Epcot where you used to go and used to get the free drinks, the little samples of the Coca-Cola products? Everybody hated Beverly, but it was a rite of passage. Well, Club Cool is returning to Epcot very soon. It's going to have a new location, and there's going to be a new shop as well. Replacing Mouse Gear is Creations shop that's going to be opening this summer. It's been described as a bold, sleek design that creates a perfect showcase for the rich varieties of items you'll find as part of your Epcot experience. In other words, just more stuff to buy in a nicer shop. And also, since the last podcast, Walt Disney World have relaxed their policies on face coverings. Yes, you will still have to wear a face mask in the parks. For guests ages 2 and up, you'll have to wear them even in restaurants when you're not eating, but they have relaxed the policy on removing your face mask when you're having a photograph taken outside. Remain where you are, but you can take your mask off just for the photograph and only outside. And finally, this week, you might be ready to book your Disney cruise. It was announced that Disney are going to be doing some very special cruises just for us here in the UK. Now, booking should have already started for the cruises, but it hasn't. There has been a change in the itinerary, so the ships are going to be sailing later in the year, end of summer into early autumn, and the cruises will go on sale at the end of April. Although, depending when you're listening to this podcast, that could all have changed again. So the best thing to do is follow us on our social media accounts. As soon as we know anything, we will let you know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, @PodMagical is where we are. We've got new podcasts out every other week and new guests to talk about and share their Disney memories. This week, Emma is on the podcast. I want to find out about this family tour that you did, but we were just talking about characters earlier on. Have you got a favourite character to meet in the parks?
I just love all of them, but mainly I think it's my kids seeing them. That's what I love. And I remember the first time we took both of them, they got to meet Peter Pan and they were just completely awestruck. I've never seen them so quiet. They were just like staring at him with like mouths agape, just not able to believe that Peter Pan was there and talking to them. And that's just brilliant. I love that.
So how old were the boys the first time you went as a family?
So we took my son Freddie for his second birthday. And then the next time we went, I think My youngest was 3 and then Freddie was 6.
Right, okay. So you can still get the joy and there's still stuff for them to do at that age, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. And even like last time we went, Freddie was, I think, 9 last time we went, and he still loved it. There was still plenty for him to do, and it's slightly different in the things that he enjoys, but they still have just this magical time.
Yeah.
You have to build in that pool time as well. I think sometimes it's so much, the whole Disney-ness of it all. So it's just making sure that they've got that downtime to just go swimming or just kind of chill out or just hang out in the room. So it's just trying to find that balance, really.
Otherwise, they're going to be grouchy for the rest of the day, especially if you want to stay up for the fireworks.
And because you've got to be up for rope drop, so they're going to be tired.
Up for rope drop, they're till the end of the fireworks, they'll kick an out time. We know how to do it. This is how the Brits do Walt Disney World. We waited long enough to get here. We will sleep when we get home.
That's it, make the most of every second.
Exactly. Is there anything that they no longer have at Walt Disney World that they used to have that has now gone, either attractions or rides or parades or anything?
Well, when I first went, there was still Toontown. There was Mickey's Toontown with all the houses and everything.
Yeah.
And, that was just brilliant when I was a kid, because my youngest brother, he was only, I think, 2 when we went the first time, and he was just in awe of that, just running around Mickey's house, trying to, grab everything off the shelves and all that kind of stuff. So I think that was lovely. I think it would have been nice to have got the boys to see Toontown, because I think that's really fun. But also now you've got Fantasyland, so you've got kind of Seven Dwarfs and everything else. So I think the good thing with Disney is when they replace things, they really think carefully about what new exciting things they're going to put in. So it kind of evolves in a really good way.
Although I do miss Toontown. I do miss Mickey Mouse's house.
Yes. Going
around and having a bit wild. If you go over to California, they still got that over there.
I know. Well, I should have been there last year. We should have been going to California. So,
oh, no.
Yeah. Hopefully next year.
How many trips have been cancelled then? Just that one?
We were due to do a big LA trip last year, so that got cancelled, and then we rebooked for this year. But because I just think that's probably the only time we're going to go there, and it's not going to be what we want it to be, so I think we're going to postpone that until next year. Yeah,
it's just hard to tell at the minute, isn't it? Obviously, California's opening up, and then they've just shown us the Marvel campus that would be open in July the 4th, I think it is. So, So next time you go, it'll be worth waiting for, because there'll be more than you would have had last year.
Exactly, so it'll be good.
In terms of things to do as a family, tell me about the tour that you did.
Yeah, so we try and do something new each time we go to Florida, just to kind of keep it fun for everybody. And I just started researching different tours that they had and just trying to find something we could do, all the 4 of us together. And there was this family magic tour, which I'd not really heard much about. So I tried to look at some reviews of it, and it just sounded really interesting. And we just booked, and it was about 2 hours in the morning. And it's basically like a treasure hunt around the Magic Kingdom. So you go around with a cast member and a small group of people. I think we had maybe 3 other families with us. And you just got these clues, and you're trying to solve the clues, run to the next place, do crazy things like fly like Peter Pan around the Magic Kingdom. You get to go behind some ropes, you get to duck into things. And it was just brilliant. It was so much fun. And as part of it, the kids also got to meet Peter Pan. So he did a little surprise meet and greet. And then also we got to meet Mickey at the end. So it was just so much fun. And the kids had a whale of a time. It was brilliant.
That's fantastic. And what's that called?
It's called the Family Magic Tour. And it's about $30 each when we did it. So probably a bit more now. But I just really recommend it, because it's a nice way to see characters. But it's also, you get to kind of experience the park in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant.
That's got, obviously not if it's your first time going, but if you've been a few times.
Yeah, definitely. And it was just so much fun. And it was actually the first day that we were in Disney for that holiday. So it was great. It's kind of our introduction to be back into Disney. It was just to go and do something a bit different and a bit magical.
And what about outside Disney? Do you venture to any other parks or anywhere else in Florida?
We do. We always go to Universal. So we normally spend a little bit of time there and often stay at Universal as well. Because again, there's big coasters, and the boys love coasters now.
I was going to say, good. They've got the new dinosaur coaster that opens
soon. I know,
the
Velocicoaster. I'm so excited. So we do that. And then we've also been to SeaWorld quite a few times. And I think about 15 years ago when we went, I did Discovery Cove as well. And that was just amazing. And so I'm looking forward to taking the boys there when they're a little bit older, when they can both kind of do everything and swim and be happy and stuff. So that'll be awesome. But there's so much to do in Orlando. That's the thing. It's just everything's there, isn't it?
So how long would you normally go for? Would you just the standard 2 weeks, or a bit short, a bit longer?
We normally try and do a bit longer. So we normally try and do about 2.5 to 3 weeks. But sometimes that's really tricky to do. Sometimes we manage it. Next time we go, we're not there as long. So I think we're there for about 13 days. So a bit less than we'd normally want to do, but we just try and cram in as much as you can, really.
And with school holidays, when would you find is the best time for you as a family to go?
So we've been, before the boys were at school properly, we used to do October, so around kind of half term and stuff. And that was great because the weather was really nice. It wasn't too crazy busy. But now, because they're both at school, we tend to go near the end of August, the last couple of weeks of August, where it's very, very hot.
Yeah.
Very, very hot. But still, you can still get around most things, and you just try and find ways around it. So we have those little kind of like handheld fan things and cooling towels and take lots of breaks in the aircon and things. But it's tricky. It's definitely trickier and so much more expensive. That's the only issue with it, really. But I've just rebooked because I was so disappointed at not getting to go to California.
No.
I'm doing a little sneaky Christmas trip this year to Florida, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, awesome. So you've got another trip booked in.
We've booked for this Christmas because I've always wanted to go at Christmas. And I just thought we've missed out on so much. It would be really nice to just go and do something really special.
I love it at Christmas. And do you know what? Even if it's not quite ready, it's not quite like the 100% experience, I think because we have been before, I think it's just now you go, okay, I can just appreciate it, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I couldn't go to California and do like the first time there and feel like I was missing out on everything.
Yeah.
But Florida, I know that I'll be back and I know that I've seen everything. So I don't mind as much. And there's loads that we haven't seen because we've not been to Galaxy's Edge. We've not been to Toy Story Land because obviously they've opened since we went last. It's like there's loads we can do. I'm excited.
So many new things. And have you got the eye on what about the Disney cruises that are going from the UK? Have you thought about maybe doing that?
I know. Well, the thing is, my sister's got a big birthday coming up the year after next. So the plan is a big family holiday with a little Disney cruise to Castaway Cay tagged on.
Oh, save it. Might as well.
I'm going to save myself for that, I think. I think it might be a bit more exciting than going around the UK.
You don't even go around the UK. You get on, sail for a couple of days, and then get off where you got on. But it's good if you need that Disney experience. But yeah, if you want to do a full-on Disney cruise next year, you might as well go the whole hog.
Yeah.
Do it from Florida, visit Castaway Cay, their own little island. It would be amazing.
I know. And I just think for the first time doing it, I think that would just be absolutely amazing to go and actually kind of experience everything and have it hot, hopefully, as well. And
if your husband loves food, he will love being on a Disney cruise.
I know. I'm hoping that's my way of getting him on there. My son's a bit nervous about boats, so that's the next thing to get over.
But it's fine. Disney, fine. Big boats, hardly feel it moving. You've got the characters, you've got the shows, you've got the aqueduct. And as I say, the food's incredible and you can eat as much as you like. Even at the sit-down restaurants, they give you the menu. If you want one of everything, say, I'll just have one of everything, please. And they will do that for you.
That's exciting. I think the boys would love that.
Yes. Come back twice the size. Pack stretchy pants. Emma, lovely chatting to you. Thank you for sharing your Disney memories with us.
No problem.
And have a magical day.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
If you'd like to join me on the podcast, one episode just like Emma, then do get in touch. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We are at PodMagical. Ending the podcast with a top tip. And this week's top tip is about Ziploc bags. You might want to take some freezer bags on holiday with you to Orlando. And you're thinking, why? I'm not going to be freezing anything. No, but they're great to put your phone in when you go on the water rides. Because, well, if you're going on Splash Mountain, they might give you one for free. And especially if you're going over to Universal Islands of Adventure, if you've been on Popeye's barges, then you'll know how wet you can get. So you might want to pop your phone in a Ziploc bag, in a freezer bag, just before you go on the ride and then pop that in your pocket. Also, very handy if you have a crispy treat and it is too big for you to eat all at once. Pop the other half in a Ziploc bag, take it with you, have it later. There's my top tip for this episode. If you've got any top tips, do let me know. You can share them. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, PodMagical is where we are. Make sure you've subscribed to the podcast as well. We've got brand new episodes coming out every other Friday. And until next time, please stand clear of the doors.